this is part two. Part two, we're going to extend, we're talk a little bit more about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Part one, we already discussed Barbie and some other films that you need to watch or don't watch, so you can check that out. All right, so yeah, they made some major changes in reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Them wanting to be a part of the the regular world, that was always something that was lurking. But the whole fascination with high school, I thought was kind of funny, but I don't know, it's almost like they were reaching, what could we do different just to make it different? Rather than doing anything different that was meaningful. Now, one thing I have to say, with any production, this is why I love Mr. Rogen, he does try. He doesn't just, you know what I mean? Like, he does try to change things up, and every film he does, the soundtrack is banging. His love for hip-hop is real. Respect, sir. 100% respect. Like, and he throws some gems. Like, he doesn't go with the, I'm just going to put any kind of hip-hop parade. No. Not to say that wasn't a good song, but you understand where I'm going with it. Like, he put in some gems up in there. Were you into the soundtrack?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Yeah, he treats films like a DJ would. So I respect that. So that's why that also helped me to ride with it. Okay, you're gonna make some changes, but I know I'm gonna hear some good music. Let me go. Let me go with it. But also the casting. Some of the voice
was unique.
It was unique, but you know what? I think because specifically with the Turtles, even though you had different people do the voices, for the most part, that first film, they pretty much kept that as the template of the voices for the Turtles. And I wish they did that. The kids that did it, I mean, they did what they did, but I wasn't feeling it. And then, having a turtle have braces and then a turtle have glasses, I don't know.
Nah, I was feeling it. I kind of liked it because it actually make it more
teenagey, stereotypical teenagers.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're in the sewer, right?
But I will say this: a lot of people like the transformation that Mikey had, because a lot of people didn't like that surfer dude version of Mikey, and they made it more, dude, like totally like
they didn't
he's for
too
real
much, which makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, if they're from New York. And then from the Bronx.
Why he got
How does he sound like he's from California? So that would make sense. But the rest of nothing against the actors. It just I wasn't feeling the casting. I
was feeling it. Like it made sense.
That's fair. We could agree to disagree. I didn't like the casting.
Who else? Ice Cube as Superfly.
That worked.
That worked.
That would have to say, I can't. Jackie Chan, love Jackie Chan. I guess we're so used to the sound of Master Splinter, it threw me off for a while.
Yeah.
I get why they did that. I mean, because it was a name. I understand some of the casting is just, we need names. So let's just, but it was weird.
I will say this: John Cena is banking roll. He's making that moolah.
Why do you say that?
Because he was in Turtles. He was in Barbie. Not a spoil. It is a spoil. Well, kind of not, because Barbie been out for like how many weeks? He was in Fast X. Dang. John Cena has been making that moolah.
But one thing I have to do as far as give props with the Master Splinter. Jackie Chan, with the scenes showing some sort of empathy and love for the turtles, I felt that more with his voice than I have
with any other Master Splinter.
With any other Master Splinter. So that says something about, you know, him as an actor.
Right.
I think it still threw me a loop, because again, even if different people did it, it's kind of ingrained what the turtles sound like, what Splinter sounds like, what Shredder. You know, it's like Optimus Prime. If you or myself did Optimus Prime tomorrow, we still would have to tap into that essence of what was done in the past, because that's what we love, that's what we grew up with, and that's what's been done time and time again, and that's what we appreciate.
Right.
Now, if you did Optimus Prime and all of a sudden, yo, what's that, man? You know, roll out. Like, no. And that's what I felt. Like, did you see how you laughed as I was watching? That's what I felt about the turtles. You know, I couldn't take it serious, because it just felt like, hey guys, we're turtles now. Like, and you know what's interesting too, and that's to tell you, like, as far as creating characters, right? When you voice acting characters, you just don't throw a voice out there.
Right.
You look at the body, the mass of a character, the age of a character. Do they have any ailments? All those things play a role in the voice that creates the character. And they didn't do that for any of the creatures. They just threw they just kind of, and maybe Bebop and
the lizard.
Yeah, and the lizard. I think those were good, but a lot of the other characters, just like, there was you just threw a voice on them and let's go. I mean, that's what I got as an actor. Did you get that as well, or you thought all the voices were appropriate for each creature?
Well, depending on which direction that the creator was going with this.
You as a fan observing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It depends on where the direction is. So as far as my opinion,
yeah, your opinion,
it didn't fit my generation of turtles with all these other characters, because the way those characters, we remembered how they were. But that said, because we're dealing with a Gen Z universe, because it's Gen Z, I understand the direction that they were going with, and it made sense. So if it's not the way I want it, but you have to open your mind when it comes to the generation aspect. That's just like telling an older person back in the day, oh, you got to learn how to use computer.
That's going too far, but I see where you're going with it.
It's not going too far. We're going right.
No, because it's like, again, it's different because you're an actor as well, right? Like, voice acting, the whole point is you're creating, it's not just you just talking. You know, some people, like, and I'm not going to name famous people because that's just not fair, but there's some famous people that have done some voice acting, and it's literally for their name, and you could recognize that this person did those voices.
Right.
And where they just talk. They're not really creating a character, just like, they just have a unique voice. It's like Fran Drescher just does, they would hire her to just talk. Just be yourself, Fran, just talk. Versus, you'll have, of this crew, Giancarlo Esposito. You kind of recognize him, but he put a little funk in there. He put a little, you could, you know what I mean? Like, you felt like a character going on. And I appreciate that, because even when he does different, like, people love to cast him as a villain.
Right.
But he adds a little something the essence of the character. He's not just playing himself or playing the same villain every time. Even when he did the voice acting in this, you had to wait. Is that Giancarlo? Is that? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It is. So I appreciate that. That's how you could tell. Good actor. Very, very good. And it wasn't just putting an accent. You know, a couple of characters had some accents in there. It's not just an accent. It's really jumping in there. So that's what I mean. I mean, the director, the writer, they could produce it. They could do anything they want. But that's here nor there. Did it land? You know. But overall, you think this film landed really well?
Yeah. It did what it was supposed to do.
So far the best overly done franchise that has been done to death but actually did a good job. I think so far my number one vote is still for the last Transformers.
What?
Yeah. As far as like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the films, you know, like, I mean, if we're going to see another 50 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies before we're gone, another 500 Transformers movies. I'm not saying it was flawless, but I think that was
a better Transformers than all the rest of them.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, 100%. Like, there were, I think a lot of the movies, they kind of, okay, we have a plot. They kind of rush certain things. There's one or two spots I felt were rushed and was like, really? Like, you're supposed to expand belief, but not cut it off at the knees, you know, imagination. And I think they did that a few times in that one. But with that being said, I still feel it was better directed. It was directed by a brother, too.
Yeah. I know Stephen Capra.
Yeah, so he did a really good job. And I think that's something really to be applauded with a franchise that's so well known.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you think of the concept of the mutants basically forming their own little Voltron? What do you think of that?
Well, that wasn't the mutants forming. That was just happens to be the ooze, and then.
Right, but what do you think of that?
It was something that you look like you got to make the big bad an even bigger threat.
But I understand why but what do you think of that concept? I thought it was stupid. I thought it was stupid.
It was meant to be stupid. It was enjoyable, but it was like, I know where y'all going with this, but in a sense, it's kind of enjoyable seeing him being able to mutate without using his brothers and sisters because he felt neglected.
But also, it's like, okay, so this is what I mean, expanding belief. I think why I have a problem with it is because technically what changed him would change 50 million things in the water. I'll leave it at that, so that way I don't give away too much. It was kind of like, well, anything that jumped in that water would still be doing this. Like, it's like a loose end that there didn't need to be a loose end.
Right.
And it's just sloppy. You could have almost done the same thing in a different way. I don't know. I mean, again, kids movie. So that's the thing too. Like, do we look at these franchises and yes, we're going to try to expand to a new generation, but do we give them passes with like what you said, the Gen Z thing? For a new thing of kids.
I would say with the Turtles, yes, and Barbie,
But in general, like, when we critique these films and say, hey, people should watch it, not in general, if it's a brand, if it's a what do they call that?
I would say this: Turtles is like,
in general. No. Open. This is an open question for every toy you could ever think of. Do we is our critique, should it be not as strong because it's it's something that's been around for so long. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like, be honest with you, you're gonna have those fans and you're gonna have those collectors that's gonna go see it. They know they're gonna do what they want to do when it comes to these films. When it comes to that, that's why you saw the success with Barbie, because there's so much fans of
You're not
Barbie.
answering my question. Stay
Well,
stay on target.
because you want to know why I'm not
It's
answering.
not those specific films. So
No, I'm
no
just
pressure.
putting
Just in
it-
general.
no,
Yeah.
I know, but I'm putting it as in general. Like, you got all these franchises, but it's all about the one that's the most dominant one. So, is it going to be because, oh, this is a good film, or is it going to be because, oh, because it's tradition and it's a figure that was in my childhood?
Mm-hmm.
Most people will do it because it's a figure of their childhood.
Do what?
Go see it. Go see the movie.
Right. Okay, let me answer it another way. For yourself, maybe I got to say it that way. For yourself, when you critique these things, do you find yourself, or should you be more loose because of the whole concept of, well, we're trying to get another generation to buy into this franchise? Or do you see that, like, over the years, no, you're just as strict in critiquing, doesn't matter. If it's a film, it's a film. I critique it because you put it out, and I'm going to critique it just like I would any other film.
See. This is where I plead the fifth.
Why? There's no judgment.
I know
It's
no
what you
judgment,
think.
but this is the moment where I plead the fifth, because it's hard for me to basically answer that question, because there's times I actually go see a movie because of the fan service, and then there's other times I go see the movie just to critique it. Like, if they do another Mortal Kombat or another Resident Evil, I will go see it. If they do another Turtles, I will go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm a fan, it's fan service. Even though I'm a critic, the childhood in me would basically be biased about it. Well, I say the movie, it gotta really do bad for it to suck. Really do bad for it to suck. Like the recent Resident Evil, it, to me, that was way better than what's his name's version with his wife.
Which version was that? Oh, you like the new one, the one that was on the streaming one, right? Okay.
Exactly, because it actually brought a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of tropes. The only issue I had with it was they had the mansion and Resident Evil 2 combined. To me, that made no sense.
Okay.
Because originally it was supposed to be Resident Evil 2 and 3, Nemesis.
Right.
That's supposed to be combined, not 1 and 2. So I really feel as though the director or whoever created it or wrote it screwed up on that part. But overall, it was a good popcorn film.
Okay.
Would I watch it again? Yeah.
Yeah, I try to create a baseline for myself where it's, so that way it's, it's just fair. Like, I would critique, obviously a huge Star Wars fan, but I critique all of them equally, because for me, that's the most fair thing to do. Do you have a good story? Did you develop the characters? Did you keep my attention? How was the special effects? And, they did it like that. To me, those become excuses.
But here's the other thing. Does the special effects make or break the film?
I think that's why I don't think so. I mean, if you look at it, right, to this day, hardcore fans could easily argue that Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, which one of those are like the best? And they usually say for the drama, Empire Strikes Back is one of the best.
Right.
Return of the Jedi, tying everything in, keeping everything moving, but we cannot compare the special effects then to the new ones now. But it's like all effect and very little character development, all effect and very, very loose story or repetitive story. You know, so at least that is the consistent, argument. Speaking of which, Ahsoka is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking forward to that?
Of course. Of course, Michael.
Is
Wait.
that because you like the lead actress in that?
Michael, I've been a fan of Ahsoka for a while, bro.
Now, how long is a while?
Bro, I've been a fan ever since the novels. And
Well,
also,
now
wait,
well,
let me finish. Darn it. And also Rosario Dawson.
right. Well, she was created for the animation, then people put her in novels. I'm just saying.
I know.
So that's not that long ago. Just saying.
Okay, let it go.
That's not that long.
Rosario Dawson,
She's a
I'm
newbie.
going to present you Ahsoka, and will you autograph it? I'm not saying marry, autograph it.
Is she married yet?
No,
You might have a shot.
because she's single.
Oh, she is?
Mm-hmm.
She's not with the politician?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and on that note,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So there are always rumors about them trying to finally get a really good script for G.I. Joe. I really hope they do, like, really do it right. But they got to make a decision.
Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Hasbro. Hasbro, pull the trigger.
Are we going to stay towards the cartoon? Or are we going to go dark towards the comic book? Or are we going to kind of mash up between the two? There's no way for them to go away from either of the two.
Right. So
And,
I say
and fans to be like, yay. And that's the problem with the movies. I feel there's people that were not fans that just said, all right, let's just make a movie.
I say mash it up.
It gets
Mash
dark.
it up.
It gets dark and it gets intelligent.
Yeah, but mash it up.
Yeah.
Wait.
I say fan comic book only because, yeah, there's a lot of intelligence and a lot of things that they could do, which would be really, really, really cool. But I think you're right, though. I think you're right to mash it up, though.
Yeah.
Because most people know the... Yeah.
Wait, Hasbro, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
So that probably would be the smartest thing to do. But that would be cool. That would be cool. I mean, same thing with the... well, I guess with Marvel, there's so much more comic book than actual cartoons.
The thing with
So
Marvel, if you're gonna create something, stay within the story. Don't create a that note. Look, I watch my boy Matt from movie was it? He's a YouTuber, but everybody knows him. He's one of those people that put down his own theories of how things should be.
Mhm.
What if Disney, or what should Disney do, or
Right.
Marvel should do?
right.
And some of his stuff I've been preaching for the longest. It's just that Disney do not want to pull the trigger. Disney needs to start creating its first rated R project and go full dark.
But didn't they do that?
No,
With Deadpool?
no, that was Sony.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Sony.
Sony owes Deadpool?
Well, at this moment. No, I'm sorry, Fox. That was Fox.
I was about to, what's happening? What are you saying over
Sorry,
here?
that was Fox. Sorry, audience.
I'm like,
So used to Spider-Man and people
Yeah,
calling
about to say.
Spider-Man, calling Deadpool Spider-Man. So forgive me, but Fox owned Deadpool. But since the merge, and Disney took all Marvel stuff,
all the X-Men back. Yep.
only thing that Disney need to do is go dark. And I think one way to go dark is make a separate department within Disney, like a Hulu, like they did with Predator, like we did with Prey. Create a separate department so the stuff that you bought from Fox, you could actually either remake or,
You know, Disney owns a porn company, right?
huh? Yeah, I've been on that.
Right.
But
So if they could own that, they could easily do rated R films if they wanted to.
If they wanted to, but they're so focused on kid friendly to the point that it screams out, it spells out. Oh yeah, hey guys, yeah.
yeah. I mean, in general, yeah, a lot of those things, even Transformers could go darker if they wanted to, easily as far as the script wise. It's totally not necessary, but from where they left off,
They
I don't
could have
know.
went because where they left off, it could have got darker.
It could have got darker. They've done so many of them, even though I like to see the Transformers, and it's almost how many, I don't know, like what other stories you have to tell. Like
There's other stories they could tell. Like that's what the whole end credit scenes with the GI Joe was, because there was a moment where GI Joe and Transformers crossed paths.
I have those comic books actually, that mashup.
You better hold on to them.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's Hasbro, right? I mean, it's cool, but right now they need to just focus on GI Joe and get that together. That's what they need to do. Get it together, because we have a good Transformer movie. Thank you very much. Now give us a good GI Joe.
Yeah.
Give us a good. We've earned it. We've earned it. We supported how many trashy Transformer movies did we support?
I got a question. Snake Eyes, was that, to me, what would you rank that out of the GI Joe movies?
I need to watch it. I boycotted it because what I've seen of it, the clips, is like, this is not Snake Eyes. I don't want to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we're going to cut off here. We'll probably keep talking, but thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching us live on Twitch, if you're watching us on cable, thank you so much. Please watch part 1. This is part 2. And we should talk about that. We should definitely talk about Hasbro, and then we should also 50 years of hip-hop and the films that inspired us all. Thank you very much. You're watching GEEKCASTER. Check out Dayveonne Bussey on IG and all the things, and Michael7Michael on IG, and of course GeekCaster.com.